All right, welcome back to the Run.down post-game show here on the Strickland YouTube channel. If you're listening to this the day after the Strickland Podcast Network, I am Sam. I'm joined by Schwinn and Tyrese. Knicks win 105-93 over the lowly Brooklyn Nets, bringing our record to 42-28 on the season, tying our record with the Orlando Magic for fourth in the East. They, of course, own the tiebreaker because they won all those stupid matchups earlier. Before we get into all that good stuff, though, the tournament is here. BetOnline is your bracket headquarters for this season with the best bracket contest out there and odds, lines, and info on every game and every round right up to until the national championship. You can access the most up-to-the-minute wagering information anytime from your desktop or your mobile devices, and even track your bracket real-time all the way through the tournament. Head to the BetOnline app today and get in all the action. Remember to use promo code BELIEVE, that's BLEAV, for your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. BetOnline, the game starts here, and we also have a great new sponsor. I love betting with my friends and betting with them on anything sports games who's fast. That's what Cut allows me to do. The Cut app is a peer-to-peer social betting platform that's legal in 40 plus states. Cut has customizable odds, tracking capabilities, and an entire social network with group chats, user profiles, and rewards. All payments, no need for Venmo. Use our promo code BELIEVENICS for a 10% welcome deposit bonus. Don't forget that promo code. Cut. Put your money where your mouth is. All right. Shout out to Deuce and Dante for picking up the slack today. Jalen Brunson didn't really have it going offensively. His shooting will tell you that.
Should probably trade him.
I'm sure the Nets would be the first ones on the line because they're vying for stars now. But yeah, I mean Dante DiVincenzo. 31 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals, 1 block. Really filled up the stat sheet today. 12 for 24, 4 of 13 from 3. Definitely gunning for that Knicks 3-point record. Can say that for sure. And, not a bad guy to have that record. And Deuce, 26
finally
points.
putting it in the hands of black people where it belongs. Continue.
Yeah, get Evan Fournier's name out of the record books, man. We don't want that there. Deuce, 48 minutes, 26 points, 3 assists, and a steal. Shooting efficiently from the field and from 3. How do we feel about this minutes load for Deuce? Because I feel like it's kind of ridiculous. Like he can't afford
exist if Alec Burks was good.
Sit. I guess, but
like they don't have any other good players because a lot of the rotation is just dead weight right now.
I'm gonna be completely honest about this. I don't give a shit. Like I really don't care. So he's played coming into this season, he had played for his career. Okay, so the past 2 seasons, he had played a grand total of 1,132 minutes. This season, he has played after today 952 minutes. I don't give a shit. He can this is the guy. Like Josh Hart, I'm like, need to dial it down a little bit. Dante, I think he's actually done a good job with Dante in the last couple of weeks. Brunson, he's done a really good job of cutting down his minutes.
Yeah, 3 minutes tonight.
This is the reality. The reality of the situation is this. If you want Tom Thibodeau to be careful with Jalen Brunson, and if you, we can sit here and, talk about all the fucking things that he has to do, and this guy needs minutes, that guy needs to have his minutes cut, they need to win basketball games, okay? And he's got Isaiah Hartenstein on a minutes limit. They keep saying Brunson isn't on a minutes limit, even though he pretty obviously is on some type of minutes limit. I think Precious might be on a minutes limit. I thought that for a little while. There's just all kinds of shit. They obviously are down OG, they're down Mitch, they're down Julius. As Tyrese mentioned, Burks and Bogdanovich have not been good so far since the trade at all. Jericho Sims is Jericho Sims.
Horrendous. Yeah. I cannot stand watching him play basketball.
But
he did manage to have a decent second half at least. But it's just if you ultimately somebody has to kind of you can't
eat the minutes.
Yeah, somebody has to eat the minutes. And if it's gonna be somebody, I'd like it to be the 23-year-old guy who for his career now, okay, he has played less than 2,100 minutes in the NBA. That's like what I bet what did Quickly play last year in one season? Like 2,600 minutes or something? Probably more than that.
24. I think it was like 2,400.
Yeah, like so like this. He hasn't even played like a full season of backup point guard minutes, really. So I'm look. Is it ideal? Obviously not. Obviously not. And how minutes get accumulated and all that stuff matters, right? Like I get that. But if it's gonna be somebody who does the insane minutes thing, I don't mind if one of them is Deuce McBride right now. One, because he's playing well. Two, because he needs the reps. Three, because he just hasn't racked up that many minutes on his, in his career so far.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a bad thing to have, and it's good for reps too. He's getting these reps. It's going to be good come playoff time. We get to see him play on the ball a lot more. Shout out to Ozzy Mozzie with the 10. I don't know what currency that is, but
some currency.
It's some currency. Thanks for 10 of it. We will not use it for meth or gambling.
Yeah. Maybe
we will use it for gambling. We will use it.
Maybe
Sam will use it for gambling.
Yeah, Sam. What we should do. Honestly, I think we should do this. We should pool all the super chat money we get at the end of the year.
To Sam parlay.
And Sam puts it all in one parlay.
Yeah, Sam's gonna put it on like Jack Goldkey threes, and I swear to God, we all cash out.
Speaking of which,
I know.
There's no way you bet on Jack Goldkey threes, did you?
Yes,
Not yet. Not yet.
Thank you for the super chat, Ozzy Mozzie.
He's either gonna have 27 points tonight or 6. So gotta
he
cash
does a parlay with the over. He does a parlay with the under.
Gotta find a way to
Bro, I feel like Sam and March Madness is like a match made in heaven because this is a gambler's paradise. To be fair,
it is.
It's a great time.
It is.
Spending most our lives.
But yeah, I mean, I really don't know what else there is to talk about with this game. I mean, we beat the Nets. That's like a normal thing now. That's like a common occurrence.
We could talk about how much Cam Thomas sucks.
A lot of people love Cam Thomas because he's a Chuck, and people love Chucks. So there's that. But shout out to the Nets they're building their team building philosophy is that of the 2000 to 2020 Knicks.
2019.
Well, their business model is flawed. They should look at the team across the bridge that tried to do that for many years and did not succeed, by the way.
Dude, it's the same reasoning. So they're like, oh, stars want to play in New York.
Not from Brooklyn.
Like, I can understand that sentiment, but you look across the bridge and it's like the Knicks have just as many picks as you and they're a better team than you. Why would anybody want to go to the Nets right now?
Yeah. Well, shout out to Sean Marks. He's a great GM because he talks to the media. That's what it takes to be a great GM.
Just be balding, Australian, and white, and people will somehow convince themselves you're a great GM. Look at Sam Presti.
I mean, to be fair to Sam Presti, he does have at least some team success this year with the team being good. The Nets are dog shit, so there's that. But yeah, I mean, going through this box score, we had Brunson 17 and 8, 7 of 24, yeesh. 17 and 9 for Hartenstein with 4 steals, 2 blocks. Looking like Hartenstein of old. Maybe we think the Achilles is getting better as he's still on this.
Back. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think that game versus the Nuggets kind of really solidified him being back. The 20-point game. But yeah, it's good to see Hartenstein getting back to himself, and the reports are that Mitch is on his way back, probably. What would be hilarious is that if Mitch comes back before both OG and
I think he might.
Julius.
I think he might.
But man, I mean, having Mitch back would definitely help a ton. I just don't know what it does for us offensively in terms of creation because, like, we still get Burks getting minutes. We still get Bogdanovic getting minutes, and those just haven't been good at all. Shout out to Troy Weaver gets nothing, by the way. I know we joked about, like, Troy Weaver getting, like, a statue and then a mini statue for, like, helping this Knicks team build, but he gets nothing now because these two players are absolute dog shit. So,
Yeah.
um,
He for real scammed us, and I'm kind of annoyed. Bro,
I
Burks
mean,
is
that's
legitimately 40 and 90, and he can't even hit the fucking basket now. It's actually kind of pissing me off.
I mean, the trade's a lose-lose trade, you know? Those happen sometimes.
It's a wash, yeah. Like, it could be worse if we were watching Quentin Grimes play basketball, and that would have hurt my feelings. So, you know what? I'll take Alec Burks for a nostalgia run.
Well,
Yeah.
You actually can't watch Quentin Grimes play basketball right now because he just
because he's hurt.
basketball games. He's hurt. I'm still like I actually didn't really understand why Burks played in the second half over Bogdanovic. Like I thought Burks neither was particularly good in the first half, but I'll continue to say it. Like I think Bogdanovic is actually trying to play like he's on a basketball team, and Alec Burks is playing like he's on the N1 mixtape or something. Like I don't get what Burks is doing. That possession at the end of the third quarter he had was like I couldn't believe that. He just dribbled the ball up, dribbled for like 20 seconds in place, and took a pull-up three over what? He got to switch onto like Day'Ron Sharp. That wasn't even close on that. He's just playing like an asshole, quite honestly. And like, I don't really get it. I think I'm gonna look this up after I'm done talking. But like, I swear to God, this guy's not passed more than 5 times on drive since he's been on the Knicks. Like, it's ridiculous. I don't like. He's always been like a chucker. But like this is bad. Like this
there
is
was at least a happy medium. There was at least a happy medium from him.
It's just crazy. It's also just crazy because Deuce had it going. So it's like dude, I don't know. It's almost like he has no understanding of who he's on the floor with, who's playing. It's just crazy. Again, neither of those guys has been good, but I don't think the turnovers and stuff with Bogdanovic are really bad. I don't know why Tibbs had him on Lonnie Walker. That was really odd because Lonnie Walker can actually score and is athletic. So I just thought that was really bad. I mean, he's only going to have bad matchups because he can't move, but like that was an especially bad matchup. But like I get it. The turnovers and all that stuff is bad, but those turnovers, most of them are him trying to like make a play for somebody else, Burks is just doing nothing but playing for himself. And I don't know, it's really brutal to watch. But yeah, look, right now the trade hasn't been good. But again, like neither of these guys is probably gonna be in the rotation when the team is healthy. So it is what it is.
So that brings me to what do we think the playoff rotation will be? Probably what, Deuce and Hart off the bench once everyone's fully back as
Deuce,
the two.
Hart, Mitch.
Deuce, Hart, Mitch, and maybe Precious.
No, Precious maybe is like a counter for a couple minutes, but I don't think he gets a lot of minutes in the playoffs. I think they might just run 8.5.
Honestly, it's a strong 8 enough for me to like be like whatever, like have those guys be cheerleaders.
I feel like with I think okay, how do I phrase this? Tibbs thinks Josh is like a 2-3-4. So I feel like a lot of those backup 4 minutes may just be Josh Hart minutes because you want Josh Hart on the court, and he's been running him at the 4. So like, I wouldn't be surprised if you see like a lot of spacing lineups where they just downsize, and they figure, okay, well, Precious and Hart give me similar things, like defensively and rebounding wise, but Hart could just do more stuff as like a short roll guy. You can, if you trap Brunson, you put 2 over him. Hart is like running a screen. You could put Hart into those like 4 and 3 decisions, and he will make good decisions out of those, or he'll like just drive it and finish at the rim. So I can see Hart getting like minutes at like the 3 and the 4, and Precious maybe once in a while if they feel like they need more size getting those minutes. But for the most part, they're running 8.
Yeah, the playoffs will be 8 guys. I mean, that's assuming obviously everybody's healthy. So like maybe if I mean, it seems like Mitch is going to be back, but let's say he something flares up or Hartenstein has an issue, like then I think you could see 9 just because I think he'll probably try to manage their minutes a little bit. But yeah, like I think you're looking at an 8-man rotation, and I think Precious is like the situational guy.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. But like, and even like Deuce, I think his minutes will probably come down in the playoffs. Like really, I think what you're talking about is 7 guys. So it would be Jalen, Dante, Hart, OG, if his elbow is not
Falling
Mashed
off the bone.
potatoes.
I can't even do the OG thing right now. OG, Randall, Hartenstein, Mitch, and then I think Deuce will be in the rotation, but I think his minutes will be
They'll
limited.
fluctuate.
Yeah, but to like Tibbs' credit, I didn't think he would actually start Deuce, and now he's starting Deuce. So like, he's been a lot more flexible with a lot of shit that you probably wouldn't have expected, even early this season, midway through the season, right?
Dude, he's prioritizing spacing. I've never seen him do this before. I have never seen Tom Thibodeau go, you know what? We're gonna play small so we can get more shooters in the lineup. Like, this legitimately feels like he's having a rebirth. Or Leon Rose finally replaced his brain with Johnny Bryant's. I don't fucking know, but he's legitimately, like, his rotations make sense. You can see the logic in his decision making. I don't know, man. I feel like when this team gets injured, he just starts to coach again. So he's playing Jalen Brunson like he's Steph fucking Curry.
He's also like managing Brunson's minutes really well, and he's managing Hartenstein's minutes really well. And I just think like it's very, very obvious now at this point that like a lot of the tropes about him are just wrong. Like this idea that he just ignores the medical staff seems ridiculous now. Like maybe the Bulls just have terrible medical staff. That seems more realistic. Does he do some batshit insane things that most coaches wouldn't do? Yeah, obviously. Like playing Deuce 48 minutes, Hart 48 minutes against Golden State. All like some of the length of rotations, right? Like, didn't Dante, Hart, and Deuce all play the entire second half today, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, he still does shit that's crazy for sure. But obviously that entire stuff about the meta, and I really never put much stock into it anyway. That's clearly bullshit. I think, again, like I think this is his best year as a coach. I think he's shown even last year, like he definitely grew in some ways, but I think this year he's been way more flexible than really he's ever been. And, like some of that is resulting in like in player, like Deuce's development. I think obviously the lion's share of the credit has to go to Deuce, but this is like how many young guys now have developed well in New York under Tibbs, quickly, obviously Deuce, Mitchell Robinson,
Hartenstein,
RJ Barrett. I still like, I don't care that RJ Barrett's playing better in Detroit. Like I think he was developed fine by Tom Thibodeau, and I think that he was given plenty of opportunities in New York. Julius Randle, like the number of players that have developed well and youngish players. Dante, even like this is Dante's best year. I mean, some of his finishes today were things that you would never expect from him earlier in the season. So I think it's obvious he's a good development coach. I think he that's reflected in some of the players. And the last thing I got to say, but like before the trade happened, and I'm not talking about the OG trade, but rather the lose Brooks Bogdanovic trade. But before that happened, my feeling was like they should just keep Quentin Grimes for the year, just because I was like, I would bet on the shot bouncing back. I think that they like his defense is still useful, blah, blah, blah. And I had a lot of people that were like in my mentions being like, well, what happens to Deuce then? And I'm like, I don't give a shit. Just make like Deuce is getting paid $3 million per year over like, or $4 million basically per year over the next 3 years. Like that's a situational player. So you just make him situational, leave Grimes in rotation, we're good to go. And I was clearly very wrong about that because Deuce McBride right now, he's playing better than Quentin Grimes was for sure this season, and arguably even better than
his peak.
Yeah, even better than Grimes was at his best for New York. Some of the threes he's hitting, he's flashing a bit more ability to get downhill, create off the bounce. It's not consistent.
Finish at the rim.
Yeah, but it is getting there. It's definitely improving, and his defense has been spectacular. So like, I just think like he deserves all the credit, obviously, for staying locked in even when he wasn't in the rotation. And, all the stuff that, again, we don't know the specifics of whatever the hell was going on with Grimes. I think it was very obvious. He was upset about his role not being expanded and blah, blah, blah. I'm sure Deuce wasn't happy about not playing either, but we never heard shit. And when he's gotten this opportunity, he's capitalized on it in a way that, quite frankly, like, again, even at Grimes' best, I don't think he capitalized on opportunities the way Deuce has. So he deserves a ton of credit, and honestly, Tom Thibodeau deserves a ton of credit as well.
The thing that interests me the most, or intrigues me the most, I guess, about this whole Deuce and Brunson thing is, like, the whole time I'm watching them play together, I'm like, why couldn't he do this with Quickly last year? Like, why couldn't he do this with Quickly?
Quickly doesn't face guard like Deuce. I legitimately think that's it.
That's exactly what it is.
Wow.
That's 100% what it is. And it's very specifically, not just face guard. He, like, what made Quickly really good on defense for the Knicks is he was, like,
free safety.
Incredible. Yeah, he was just incredible at rotations. Like, the rotations he would make were incredible. Deuce is better at, he's not bad at rotations, but he's just like, if you tell, Deuce is like a fucking lockdown corner, right? He, like, for the Jets fans in here, he's like Sauce Gardner. For the Giants fans in here, he's like who's that guy you guys drafted? Deontay Banks? Is that what his name?
Yeah.
Yeah. So there you go. But, like, that's what he is. He's just a guy you're like, all right, today you're on fucking Justin Jefferson. You know what I mean? Like, that's all you worry about. Like, that's what this dude is right now. Like, that game against Golden State, I mean, that's as good as I've seen somebody more or less defend Steph on an island. Obviously, you can't truly defend Steph on an island. Like, they're still sending help, the big still stepping up. But if you go back and watch that game, Deuce clearly had nothing, no other responsibility on defense but face guard Steph, and that's it. I don't care about anything else. You just face guard Steph. And they haven't played anybody else that's nearly as good as Steph. So I don't think, like, he has had that same opportunity yet. But even today, you could see possessions where it was like, all right, dude, your job is just to defend Cam Thomas and nothing else, and that's a thing that, quite honestly, forget IQ. I don't think Grimes could do it. I don't think Josh Hart can do that. I don't think DiVincenzo can do that. I don't think the Knicks they've not had a defender capable of that very, very specific thing at a high level. And that, to Tyrese's point, is why I think he's, like, more comfortable with it. The other part too is I think he is correctly determined that Deuce is best playing off of creation and not actually, at least not yet, capable of creating consistent offense for him or at a team level himself. So, again, he's prioritizing spacing, and I think he's made the determination, like, hey, like, maybe we're going to lose something on the glass, maybe we'll lose something in size and all that shit, but the net reward of, like, actually having spacing around Brunson and Deuce being a lockdown defender, plus an elite point of attack defender specifically, and now knocking down threes at such a high clip, like, that just outweighs all this stuff. So again, like, I think it just speaks to, we can disagree with a lot of decisions that Tibbs makes, but I do think there's, like, a fundamental logic in a lot of it, even if, I don't agree with it all the time. He's not, like, an idiot, like, very obviously. He very obviously has clear thoughts on what he thinks, and I think there's always, like, a logic to it, which is why I wasn't even that upset when he was starting Precious. You know what I mean? I was like, all right, I get it. Like, he's just kind of like, all right, we're going to bludgeon teams on the glass. We're going to be big, and we're going to try and win games 98, 90, 94, right? And now I think he's still kind of getting to that equation of, like, disgusting, gross, beat the shit out of you ball, but he's doing it with a different alignment, and obviously Deuce is the beneficiary of that.
So we spoke about how we think the playoff rotation is going to go, and Deuce's minutes possibly fluctuating. If we end up in a matchup where there is one of those guards where we need Deuce to, like, really be there, do we think Tibbs is going to be, like, as trusting in a playoff situation versus one of these guards? Like, say we face a Milwaukee and we have to face a Dame. Do we think Tibbs trusts Deuce in a playoff situation to guard Deuce the way that he did against, like, Steph Curry? Granted, they play like not similar styles, but, like, still an aggressive scoring guard who's going to look to get his game off.
He was playing Deuce round one, like, last year. I don't think you have to question Tibbs loving Deuce defensively. It's a matter of, can Deuce hit the threes necessary to stay on the floor? Because this team, even when they're healthy, will be starved for offense. So if possessions are ending with Deuce like 28% from three like last year, like, you can't have that. So I think he'll trust if you trust him to play 48 minutes and you trust him to guard Steph Curry, and you are deviating from decades of I like big, tall, beefy black men on my front line to play him,
That's wild.
am I wrong?
I mean, it depends
Anyway,
on what we're calling Hartenstein, I guess.
okay, mulattoes. But yeah, my point is
That's
the fact that
vintage.
he's like Deuce McBride is making Tom Thibodeau change his philosophy. So I feel like, yeah, he'll trust him to guard like those elite guards in the East, even though there aren't a lot because we have the best one. But yeah, I'm not worried about that.
But it's just different, right? Because like OG's gonna be back. When OG's back, it changes so much. Like do I think he trusts Deuce? Yeah, I think he trusts Deuce, but do I think Deuce is gonna be playing 48 fucking minutes and just being like, all right, you defend Dame Lillard from the tip, like for the start of the game? Like, no, I don't think that. So I don't know.
It'll be in spots.
He definitely trusts Deuce way more than he did even right after the trade, though. I mean, that's probably the biggest sign, or the biggest positive sign is that like Deuce has put in the work and he continues to earn his trust. And if once you have Tibbs' trust, then you're at least potentially going to get 25 minutes a night. But like, look, let's not forget, last year it seemed by the end of the season he like fully trusted Quick. And look, Quick struggled in the playoffs offensively, so I kind of get it. But like he pretty quickly went away from Quick. But he reduced his minutes. So like, and that's not even really a knock on Tibbs because that's what most coaches do, right? Is you're like 7th, 8th, 9th guys, they see their minutes cut, and your top 5 and top 5, 6 guys, they usually get their minutes boosted. So, it's. Do I think he'll probably trust Deuce in situations, but I think that he ultimately will still, I think obviously OG and all these other guys will be higher up in the pecking order.
Definitely. Kenny Mayer, he says Precious going from a guy Thibs couldn't live without to getting benched for Sims is very, very odd. I'm not a big believer in Precious at the 5, but he's for sure better than Sims.
He's not a 4. He's not a 4. That's why he's not playing, because he's not a 4.
But he played Sims today.
He played Sims because Hartenstein's on a minute restriction. Like, that's really the only reason why Sims is playing is because Hartenstein's on a minute restriction. Otherwise, Precious is probably getting the bulk of those minutes anyway. I think.
But why did he get a bulk of those minutes today?
He didn't play in the second half.
He isn't being good at the 5. I don't know. He's.
But see, this is like that very specifically. That's another reason to be like optimistic about Tibbs' willingness to kind of adapt in the playoffs. Because you're right, Precious has been in like a little bit of a slump the last 5-6 games or something, and for him to like adjust in game and just be like, all right, you're playing like shit, so I'm giving Sims a shot. That's good. Like I don't love Jericho. Trust me, the Jericho Sims minutes are as brutal for me as they are for many people. But like that's what you need to do, right? Hey, this guy's not going well. Let me give this other guy a shot. If Jericho Sims starts sucking it up again, or
pause.
But if he starts playing like shit, and then he should go back to Precious, right? Like that's kind of what it should be until Mitch gets back. Once Mitch gets back, this problem solves itself.
Jason Aravalo says Thibs only does it against bad teams and small backcourts.
What, the Deuce thing? Is that what we're talking about?
I think he's talking about.
It's got to be the Deuce thing.
Yeah, I think it's that.
But he started him. He started him against Denver, who's probably the biggest fucking team in the league.
Yeah,
like their smallest guy in the starting lineup is taller than our 1 to 3 guys, not Brunson, DiVincenzo, and obviously Deuce. So like I don't. This team is actually like a permanent-ish thing that he's, or at least for the time being, right, until we get healthy. So yeah,
we'll see how things change because when Thibs has his like full set like of players, he has like specific roles for each guy, and he doesn't like to deviate much from those. So we do know that during the injury phases, that's where he does a lot of experimentation. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how he does if this team gets fully healthy for the playoffs.
Yeah, we'll see. I think this is a good comment. Kenny Mears says Claxton walking off the court before McCall, if half-court shot, guys, loser. Cam Johnson shoots 40%, and a 6'8", so everyone loves him. He does cardio most of the game. Cam Thomas thinks he's Kobe. Loser team. Yeah, I mean, that team is – they have terrible vibes. Everything about that team, it just feels bad and is bad, and, like, they play like it. They operate like it. So, happy it's not my team. That's all I can say.
Remember when the Nets were the model franchise?
I just feel like
always the biggest crock of shit.
The Nets sucking is just another sign that gentrification can never eradicate the real spirit and ethos of community. This is a socioeconomic experiment that shows that ultimately that if you have a strong enough community that is together and is united culturally, then no amount of corporational bootlicking can permeate that level of connection.
But they unfortunately succeeded in getting Sam out of Brooklyn.
Yeah,
true. I mean, nobody's upset about that though.
I'm not complaining. The only thing I'm complaining about is these stupid birds in my fucking bathroom ventilation vent.
Yeah, that should happen in Brooklyn though. That shit could happen in Brooklyn though too. So
yeah, but like
but
I just the Nets are just.
I'm not complaining,
man. Like there are a bunch of spare parts from trades they made last year, and instead of going,
they're
you know
unwilling to get rid of.
Dude, how the hell is Dorian Finney-Smith still on the team?
Bro, they got offered 3 first-round picks for him. They'd be lucky to get offered 1 second-round pick for him.
You're not like Dorian Finney-Smith is getting like no offers this offseason because nobody cares about his shooting anymore. Fucking why is McCall Bridges should be a Rocket right now? Like this team just makes no sense. Cam Johnson is not good at basketball, and somehow secured $100 million contract. Like
the funny thing that I remember, like Dorian Finney-Smith, whether it was true or not that they could have gotten 2 firsts for him, but like, why the fuck is he still on this team? What is the I don't understand. Half these. All right, even if you want to say, all right, we like believe in McCall Bridges, so we want to keep him, and now our goal is to like find pieces to put around him. Okay. And your goal, apparently, the way you're going to do this, which you believe, is to obviously, trade for these players, right? Trade for stars. Okay, fine. If that's your goal, that's your goal. Why the fuck I guarantee you, no matter what we think, I guarantee you the Nets could have gone at least 1 first-round pick for Cam Johnson at the trade deadline if they wanted it. Probably 2. Dorian Finney-Smith, who cares? Whatever you can get for him, you get for him. Load up on draft capital, right? Figure out guys that actually... All right, I think Nick Claxton is a loser. But if him and McCall Bridges are guys that you're like hoping to keep and build with, then actually do that in a way that makes sense. What they're doing makes no sense. You're just holding on to guys, nuking trade value. Like, there's no way McCall Bridges is worth what he was last summer or last year at the trade deadline anymore. Like, there's no way. There's just no way. He's less time in his contract. We all now know for sure that he's not like a top 2 option and maybe not a third one on a really good team. Maybe not in the NBA in 2024. He was in 2021, but the league has changed since then. So I just think that like they've completely fucked up everything. And again, I tweeted this after the game, but like they really are. We are effectively everything that they've wanted to be and have purported to be and have tried to be and tried to present themselves as. And they're just not. They don't have homegrown talent. They are shitty. They have a terrible culture right now. They have no direction from the front office. They have no direction from the coaching staff. I mean, dude, watching Kevin Ollie today in the fucking second half was one of the fucking most pathetic, hilarious things I've ever watched. This guy is on the sideline. Like, it's like, bro, I get it's March Madness, but you're not coaching in college anymore, buddy. Like, he's on the sideline, like, up in the stands, telling everybody to, like, get their hands on shit. I'm like, bro, they're fucking professional athletes. Are you fucking kidding me with this high school fucking AAU bullshit? Get the fuck out of here, bro. That guy's a clown, man. That was a ridiculous... Like, this was their Super Bowl, and they pissed their fucking pants in that fourth quarter. Where did they go? They went, like, 8.5 minutes without making a fucking shot. They must have missed, like, 14, 15 shots in a row. It was pathetic. Like they were pathetic.
So
and
bad.
As soon as it was annoying watching like the Knicks in the first half and kind of like for the first half of the third quarter. But once the Knicks were like, all right, enough. Like, let's focus, let's hunker down, let's just get this W. once they focused, the game was over. They got nothing. They got fucking nothing. And that was I've watched so many Knicks games from like 2014 until 2020 that were exactly like that. Right? That are just like, oh my God, we can totally win this game. We're gonna sneak, like we're gonna get us, and then the other team is like, all right, let's cut the shit. Let's remember that we're playing Jared Jack, and let's get this W. Like that's what it was. The Knicks they played with their food for about 2.5 quarters, and then they were like, all right, fuck this. Like it was so funny. You could literally see when the fucking switch flipped for Hart. It was when that in the fourth quarter they called that bullshit foul on him, on McCall Bridges, and I'm like, as soon as that happened, it was like he was like, all right, fuck this, like we're back. I'm about to get this W for us, and it was over. It was over after that. They did nothing. They're pathetic. Their fans are pathetic, and their fucking franchise is pathetic, and their ownership is pathetic, and their GM is pathetic. Everything about that team is pathetic, including the purpose of their existence in Brooklyn. All right, this is from Jordan Bubbs posting this. This is from Tibbs on Deuce McBride. Tibbs on Deuce McBride going from 10 to 20 minutes a night to playing 40 to 48 a night. Well, he's well rested. There's nothing you don't love about Deuce. For the moment we drafted him, the way he worked, the toughness, he's strong. He doesn't quit on a play. He takes care of himself. So I think he has the ability to do it. Yeah, I mean, that's what I like. I really mean that. Like, he's played fucking 1,100 minutes coming into the season. He can play 48 minutes every game for the rest of the fucking season, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. I mean, there was a time where folks were clamoring for Deuce to get more minutes. So, everyone should be happy now.
Yeah, I cannot complain about Deuce minutes, man, because like going from like the 11th guy on the bench to 48 minutes is something that like I feel like he probably wants it because he gets to shoot, he gets to fucking play, but also like the team needs it and he's the guy to use it for, like we said.
Ooh, can I read this Kevin Ollie comment after the game? This is why this guy can't be a pro coach, by the way. You can't. Kevin Ollie was very critical of the Nets' effort down the stretch today. They just wanted it more, and you could see it. That's why we're where we're at, bro. You're not, you're not Phil Jackson, bro. Like, get the fuck out of here,
bro. This feels like a remix of the Jacques Vaughn comment where he was like, we don't got any all-stars. I'm not a all-time coach. Like, he said that shit, and I was just like, all right, yeah, he lost the Nets. But like, yeah, you can't say shit like that. Like, what are your players gonna think of that?
Oh, yo, Tibbs had glasses on during his postgame today, by the way.
The old man eyes are catching up to him.
I don't know, maybe that, or maybe he's just getting his Riz game up.
Rocks hot New York Knicks hot takes. What's the assessment of the position acquisition? Oh no, he said, what's the assessment of Bojan Burks? Are we gonna wait till the playoffs and hope they show up?
I would. I mean, there's you have to like give guys an opportunity to rest. Like, again, Josh Hart, it's really hard during games when he does stupid shit to like be like, what the fuck? But I'm also like, you're probably playing 78 minutes tonight somehow. So I'm just gonna like try to ignore stupid. Like, he was just doing stupid shit for a lot of this game, and then he was like, all right, I'll focus. I think he's talked about this publicly too, that he's like basically trying to coast as much as he can in the first halves of games, and then he like dials it up in the second half. But yeah, I mean, until then, you've just got to hope that Bogey and Burks can just get hot. It's like, that's the thing. If they could just get hot from three at some point, then you can live with the rest of it. You just need to like be even in the non-Brunson minutes, right? Or not even, like, just don't get your ass kicked in those minutes, and you're fine. So you're just gonna have to keep giving those guys opportunities. Hope they get hot. And we've seen Alec Burks get hot at like the weirdest times. So
yeah, shout out to his 27-point game in the 2021 playoffs, game 1. So there's that. We always have that game to remind us that what Burks can do. See you, Tyrese. Let's see. What else? What other comments do we have here? JKXY, the Nets so bad defensively. That is a question that only. I mean, there's a million answers for that. Their starting backcourt is what? Dennis Schroeder and Mikal Bridges.
Cam Thomas.
Oh, Cam Thomas. Yeah.
I mean, the thing is, they have a lot of the problems that we have in a very specific way. Like we've talked about this since Julius and OG and Mitch have gone out. Like you have to field lineups that ultimately have fatal flaws, and you just have to live with that and hope that you can win. Like kind of, just be okay enough and then win your minutes elsewhere. Like they have defensive specialists who can't dribble, can't create shots, can't do anything. And then the guys that can create shots for them are either not particularly efficient or they're garbage defensively, right? Like Lonnie Walker, Cam Thomas, obviously. Then you have Mikal Bridges is probably their best two-way player. He can't really create offense for himself consistently. Cam Johnson, he can't dribble. He can't create anything off the bounce. Nick Claxton is a zero offensively. Like, so they just, if you try to feel like, okay, we're going to be a really good defense, then they're not going to score. And if they try to score, they suck at scoring anyway, and then they can't play defense. So it's just their roster's terrible. And honestly, like I was more surprised they got off to the start they did than I am by them just being bad, because I did not understand when there were people talking about them as like a potential, dark horse to make the top 6 before the season. And I don't remember, but I don't remember if I had them in the plan or not, but like this just feels like a totally reasonable outcome for a team that, to your point, Sam, like the best shot creators on the team have been like Dinwiddie and fucking now Schroeder and Cam Thomas. Like it's not that illogical.
Yeah. And that explains why they're so bad at defense too. The pieces just they're not going together as well as I guess the Nets anticipated they would. Let's see. What else we got here? Jordan Bubb says Josh Hart is now 5-0 as a Knick versus the Nets. He had 13 rebounds today, 5 assists, a steal, and a block. Game best plus 15. And I think we noted how he really turned things up, especially in that fourth quarter. So yeah.
Yeah.
Jordan Bubb also asks if we are the 3 seed by the end of the night. I don't know because the Kings play today versus the Magic. I anticipate that the Magic will beat the Kings.
I mean, I hope De'Aaron Fox got all those fucking misses out of his system against the Wizards. Good
yeah, because I'm not confident in the Kings beating anybody anymore.
The Kings make no sense. They've lost so many stupid games, but then they've won games that you're like, wait, how the fuck did they win this game? Like didn't they beat full strength Minnesota in Minnesota without Fox?
And I think they beat the King. They beat the Clippers in LA too when the Clippers were like still like actually like good at basketball.
They've had the most ridiculous season. They're actually in the play-in now too. I didn't realize they dropped in.
Yup.
But if they win, I think they go up to 6 again because they have the tiebreak over Dallas right now.
So yeah, they're going to be playing their ass off tonight versus the Magic, and hopefully they come through and win because, like, that would definitely help us a ton with the Magic having the tiebreaker over us. But I don't think we'll be the 3 seed by the end of the night. I think we'll still be 4th, or at least we'll be 4th, right? Oh, yeah. Do the Bucks play tonight too, or?
If only we could find out some way, Sam. How could we do this?
I'm looking right now. No, the Bucks don't play tonight.
No, it's this slate tonight is fucking brutal, bro. Jesus. What the fuck are these games?
Well, they schedule all these bad games in March because March Madness. They know damn well we won't be watching these.
This is from Vivek. Just seeing Deuce hoist threes with confidence is something amazing. He wasn't doing that this early in the season. Yeah, and he still has like these weird points where he like that pass he had to Hart. I was like, are you fucking kidding me, dude? You're wide open in the corner. Please do, like, of all players in the team, do not pass up a corner 3 to pass it to Josh Hart, like for a 3 from the top of the key.
Yeah.
He's 2 of 26 now in his last 7 games for 3. Like, I love Josh Hart, and I believe. I don't care what he's. I mean, I do care what he's shooting, but like his impact is not. It's not like he's a negative out there, but you just need him to make a 3 at some point. He's got to shoot, and you can just almost tell when he's shooting those shots right now. It's like zero confidence. Like, bro, how do you play? How are you like the most ridiculous human being in every other way, in every other thing you do in life, aside from shooting 3s? Like, can you just shoot them with confidence like you do everything else? Like when you're just being you on the podcast and all that stuff.
He's got to probably
drinking breast milk.
He's got to re-up on some breast milk to get the 3-point shooting back.
I mean, it might be a problem that might require, his wife to get pregnant again or something. So, I don't know, like that. I think he's gonna have to find a different way to supply himself with breast milk. He's got to get his wife milked and like store it all in the fridge for the future. He's got to get a breast milk connect. Oh man. Murray and Jokic are sitting tonight. They really wanted that Knicks game the other night. Yeah, they're playing the Blazers, right? So they can probably sit the whole fucking team. They'll be all right.
Aaron Gordon for triple-double tonight.
Look at this fucking degenerate. Ace Bouchard says that Cam Johnson contract is insane. I actually think that contract is probably fine, but
when you compare it, I mean, like I saw a Nets fan tweet today. Like he compared it to Josh Hart and Dante DiVincenzo's contracts combined are less than Cam Johnson, and that, I mean, when you see the impact that those two players create for our team versus the impact that Cam Johnson creates for the Nets, I mean, granted they're in like totally different situations. I mean, Dante is like a second option some nights. Josh Hart is like a third or a fourth option, fifth option some nights. So not really the same level of impact you're at least requesting from both players, but still, I mean, what Cam Johnson's giving you for more money than Dante DiVincenzo and Josh Hart combined is ridiculous.
I have a suggest. Like I'm curious about this. Would you trade if the Nets, they wake up finally this offseason, like, you know what, we should probably trade a lot of these guys. If they were like, hey, we'll give you Cam Johnson for the Bogdanovich contract and like 2 of your protected first, would you do that? I would probably do that because I'm like, as shitty as like Cam Johnson on that team, bad. Cam Johnson on this team, pretty
coming off the bench for like 17 to 20 minutes.
Yeah, I think
he'd just tell him hoist up some threes and shit.
Yeah, he's playing off of Jalen Brunson. He's playing off of Julius Randle. He'd be playing off of OG Anunoby, Hartenstein. Like, I think he'd be fine. I don't think the contract is that much of an issue. It's the team he's on,
the role,
and what he's being asked to do. Yeah.
Yes. You know what? I don't mind that trade.
Look at that. Me convincing Sam. Let's talk it into existence. Jordan Bub.
As long as he stays healthy.
Yeah. I mean, he's always been like weird. He always weirdly missed like 15, 20 games in a season, right? Then again, we have OG who mysteriously just misses like fucking.
This guy's body is made of paper mache. I'm tired of holding it back. I used to say it all the time when he was in Toronto. He came to New York. I held my tongue. I've held it long enough. This guy's made of paper mache, and I'm tired of it. This guy got elbow surgery for a freaking bone spur in the elbow. Like, who gets that, by the way? And then
he's got a flare up.
And then it flares up. What, do you get another bone spur?
The MRI is clean too, which is the funniest part. I'm like, bro, you got Josh Hart out there fighting for his fucking life for 48 minutes a night. And my man OG is just like, my
elbow's a little tingly.
Yeah, I think I hit my funny bone. I'm actually good for today. I need to fly back to the West Coast. Send me home. This is Jordan Buff. Dante DiVincenzo talks about what the difference was for the Knicks in the fourth quarter. I think we just locked in defensively. I'm not sure where the rest of his comment is. There clearly was supposed to be more to it. But yeah, look. I mean, they did lock. And dude, we haven't even talked about this. Dante's start to that fourth quarter was fucking awesome. Like, and he hit he hits so Dennis Smith Jr. The most bullshit way for the Nets to close a 6-point lead occurs. Cam Thomas makes a ridiculous fucking quarter-ending three, and then Dennis Smith Jr. hits a fucking above the break three to start the quarter. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Are we gonna lose because the Nets are just hitting the dumbest threes of all time? But then he gets a layup, which is a really difficult layup. Actually, it's kind of like he had to put it over Claxton. Then he hits a three, and then he hits another layup, which I genuinely have no idea how he finished that one. It was like coming from the baseline. He had another one where he like drove through the middle of the lane, and he went up and he did that annoying like inside hand finish he does, but he did it in a way like when he did, I was like, no, that makes sense. That is the time to do it. That's the time to do it, not when you're like on a fast break. Yeah. But no, he was awesome. And I thought his defense was really good during that stretch too. He had a block on somebody, right? It might have been on Cam Johnson or Cam Thomas. He was really good, man. Him and Hart. As soon as that fourth quarter started, it was like they had a fucking jetpack on. They were fucking flying around in that fourth quarter. That was awesome to watch. He was really good, and to the point, you're talking about that. I think we just tweeted that thing that you talked about in the Strickland, of like Cam Johnson's money versus Dante and Hart. But like, dude, having Dante on this contract is probably the greatest thing ever. It's fucking awesome. We have him and Deuce locked up for at least the next 3 years. Or no, they are both locked up for the next 3 years in like a combined fucking $14 million a year, $15 million a year.
Crazy.
Yeah, that's pennies. They should give me those pennies though. I would take NBA pennies. Pennies are good.
I'd take NBA pennies too. Shit.
Yeah, you would just put it in a parlay though. That's a problem.
Some of it in a parlay. Some of it. Not all of it. Ace Bouchard says Kings and Pacers are good examples of all offense and no defense teams. Seasons tend to go. I mean, hey, they're both looking at the play-in right now, so there's that.
Yeah. What it was so funny, dude. Fucking, they kept talking about the Nets on the broadcast. So I'm just looking at the standings now. They're fucking 5 games out of the 10th seed now.
What?
Yeah, they're 5 games out. Like they're done. They have no shot at the play-in.
Them being 5 games out is still like kind of remarkable because like that's how ass the bottom of the East is. That like the Nets are like 26-45 and still are like, hey, if the Hawks just decide to start shitting themselves for the rest of the year, and the Nets somehow were able to like pull that off, it could still happen.
By the way,
shout out to Jimmy Butler, by the way. Absolutely talking his ass off and putting up shitters.
Has not backed up any of the talk, but hey, playoff Jimmy, baby. By the way, can we just say this? Playoff Jimmy's, at least last year, was fucking mega overrated. That was not like he was not single-handedly carrying them to the finals. Give me a break. It was
like Caleb Martin decided to like be a sniper from 3. Yeah. Duncan Robinson found his magic again.
And Bam is always an elite defender in the playoffs, and he injures people. So like that was actually the reason they got to the finals, not fucking playoff Jimmy. He was amazing in that Buck series. I didn't think he was that great. I didn't think he was that great against us. He was good, but nothing spectacular. One sec. There's something I wanted to. Oh yeah, so the Knicks, so they're 42-28. The Heat and the Sixers are 38-32. That means the Knicks now they have the tiebreaker over both those teams. So the Knicks' magic number to clinch a play-in berth, or not a play-in berth, sorry, a top 6 seed, so automatically qualify for the playoffs, is now 7. Pretty good. With 12 games left, it's pretty good.
And doable. I mean, the schedule softens up a bunch.
And that magic number is like if the Heat and Sixers win out, which obviously they're not going to win out. Definitely not the fucking Sixers. And definitely, I mean, actually, I don't want to put it past the Heat. I don't want to put it past the Heat. You never know when.
Member. All it takes is one family member being sacrificed in that organization.
Yeah, it's just what's the least valuable neighborhood of Miami?
Let's just take a big dynamite stick and just boom.
Yeah, by the way, there were some. I don't know if it came out before the game or whatever, but I saw it on Twitter. But like, Quickly's been out for personal reasons since the middle of last week or start of last week. Apparently, his uncle passed away, so
man,
prayers up to him and his family. And honestly, like, dude, it sucks. Like him and RJ having to deal with obviously personal loss. Sucks. Obviously, those guys were here for a long time, and I think they still mean a lot to Knicks fans. So, hoping for the best for them and their families, and hopefully they get through this and they can get back on the court and do what they love doing.
Damn, that sucks. Back to back for those two guys, and I know they're like both really close to each other too.
Yeah, and it also happened like
a week apart from each other.
Yeah, exactly. Just brutal.
It's wild. So yeah, prayers up to those two guys. I mean the Raptors. I mean, I don't know what the hell happened to them this year. I mean, Scotty Barnes gets hurt, and then just their whole season just went downhill after that. I mean, it was already going downhill, but it went even more downhill after that. They're probably looking at a top 10 pick this year, possibly. I don't know who's enticing them in the draft, but
yeah.
All right, let's see what other comments we have here. Ace Short says Pat Riley will blood sacrifice Tyler Hero in order to escape the play-in.
Is Tyler Hero like
alive?
Everybody was talking about Kate Middleton, and like turns out she has. Which, like, by the way, I actually didn't ever say anything about that because I'm like, I don't buy that she's like I was just like, there's probably something serious going on there. She has cancer, which is awful, but like, I think Tyler Hero, like all the jokes people were making about Kate Middleton, like they people might need to make those jokes about Tyler Hero because I haven't even seen this fucking man on the sidelines in forever, bro. I feel like their season was kind of like circling the drain. And it, last year, right? Hero gets hurt. They make a run to the finals. I think they had to play that.
Killed him this time.
They had to play that card sooner this year. They're like, you know what? You have to get out of here permanently.
They're like, it's over, man. You are gone.
You're done. You're done out here.
Oh my gosh. No, like legitimately though, I haven't seen him, like you said, I haven't seen him on the sidelines. Like usually the guys are in street clothes or whatever. I haven't seen him. But yeah, maybe the Heat, they did it. It had to be done. Looks like Cleveland, I don't know what Cleveland's doing with their team. Their whole team just died, just like our team did. Evan Mobley, Donovan Mitchell, who else? Dean Wade, Max Strus.
It's been like really funny to get jokes off about like how soft Cleveland is, but like honestly, like I don't think they're soft. I think we're just a terrible matchup for them, and we're just one of the strongest teams in the league, so it is what it is. But like, dude, like their team is legit like dead, like fucking. It's crazy. I feel like Evan Mobley's played like 40 games this season max. Mitchell's missed a shit ton of time. Garland missed a shit ton of time earlier in the season. Everybody right now, it's like. Allen's probably the guy that's played the most. Like he has to have played the most games for them this year.
Yeah,
but Strus is out now too. It's wild. Like the fact they're still in the 3 seed. It's pretty impressive, honestly.
Won't be there for long.
They won't. Their stretch to close the season is pretty brutal too.
Yeah. Oof. Let me take a look at their team schedule because I just want to take a look. So maybe Knicks can jump up to that 3 seed.
Yeah. I mean, we still definitely have a chance. So Orlando's fucking schedule though is such ass. I think the rest of the way. I'm looking at it right now.
Damn.
So they have the fucking Kings tonight, Warriors, but the Warriors will be away from home, so they'll magically be good. So that might be nice. That might help. Then they get the Clippers, and they play the Grizzlies and the Trailblazers. They go to New Orleans, Hornets. They play the Bulls. They play the Rockets, who have been really good lately. They play the Bucks. They play the Bucks twice to close the season. Hopefully, the Bucks still have something to play for. And then they play the Sixers, the second to last game of the season. So maybe Embiid is back, and maybe that's for seeding. I mean, for the Sixers, that game probably will matter, considering kind of like how everything is working out. I mean, It is pretty wild though that the Sixers are going to be in the play-in in all likelihood. That's pretty crazy.
I mean, hey, that's what happens when, Joel Embiid gets hurt and the rest of their team isn't really that strong behind Tyrese Maxey. Like you're dealing with the unpredictability of Buddy Hield, Tobias Harris, and Kelly Oubre as your third option by committee. when Joel Embiid's healthy.
Yeah. Sam, I have a pretty interesting job opportunity for you, though. I think that there's a guy who recently lost his personal parlay maker. His name is Shohei Ohtani, and I think maybe you could replace him.
I don't speak Japanese, so I can't be his translator. I can help him make parlays, but he'll have to have a translator for me to help him out with that. But I'm down.
You heard it here first, Shohei. Give him a call.
It's not going to be none of those like plus 300 odds. I'm telling you that right now, because I know folks love to do those big money gamblers. They love to put a lot of money on a plus 300 bet. Not me. $5 to 1,000. That's my type of money right there. So Shelly, if you want to flip that whatever contract you have into a lot more, I'm your guy.
Yo, take a look at what Freezing Cold Takes just retweeted.
Let me take a look at this. I love how my Twitter just gets.
Dude, I've been
Mark Berman. Oh man, you love to see it.
Just so people know, they retweeted Mark Berman tweeting back on July 3rd. Dante DiVincenzo has averaged 54 games in his 5 seasons. Obi Toppin is more durable and possibly more valuable as a backup power forward than another shooting guard. With no first-round picks to cultivate from last 2 drafts, the Knicks may have gotten worse. Happy July 4th week.
Wow.
It's good stuff. It's good.
JL says Cleveland could fall to 5. I could see that.
Yeah.
I mean, I took a look at their schedule. They face Miami, who's gonna be fighting for something. They face Philly, who's gonna be fighting for something. Denver, Phoenix, LA, the Clippers, all within that last couple weeks of the season. So, I mean, Phoenix is gonna be fighting for seeding. So are the Lakers. So are the Clippers. So are the Pacers. So it's gonna be a lot of tough games for Cleveland.
For sure. I think this is a good place. We can maybe talk about this a little bit. Jordan Bubb, the Brooklyn Nets have found themselves in the most embarrassing situation in the league yet again. 26-45 with 0 picks. Rockets own Nets pick this year because of the James Harden trade. They have a pick swap. Here's the kicker. Rockets are fighting for the 10th seed. So the Rockets literally don't need to tank, even if they wanted to maximize their pick, because the Nets are doing it for them, even though the Nets themselves want to win basketball games. It's great. It's really wonderful. I'm enjoying every minute of it.
That is hilarious. Oh my gosh. So like the Rockets can end up being in a situation where they go to the play-in with their young guys to give them some valuable reps, and then they get to cash in on another, building block in the draft, or use that pick to trade for someone else or something. I don't know. But shout out to the Rockets, man. They capitalized big time on the Nets, wanting to, move really quickly with that whole timeline.
I will say, dude, this Orlando team, I think they're going to get the 3 seed, but they have such strong Knicks 2020, 2021 get exposed in the playoffs vibes to me.
And their fans are giving me those vibes too. They're like, man, I can't wait to, because like someone had tweeted like they were worried about us against playing versus us, and like shout out to that Magic fan for being smart about it at least. But
dude, just get me Julius and OG back, and I'm not worried about no fucking Orlando Magic, bro.
The funniest thing I saw in the quotes of that tweet is that someone had tweeted the Knicks have no rim protection, and I was like, Are we sure? These same Knicks, they don't have rim protection? The ones with Isaiah Hartenstein and even Precious Achiuwa on a good night and getting Mitchell Robinson back? I don't know. Because they said we have nothing for Franz and Paolo. So I was like, okay.
Yeah. Franz, all we got to do is make him shoot. Paolo, you just have to dare him to shoot threes, and he'll dribble into a mid-range jumper or something.
But yeah, I mean, they definitely do have those vibes, and their fans are definitely very confident. I mean, hey, this would be their highest seed since like the Dwight Howard years.
Yeah. I mean, look, I get why they're optimistic, and they should be. They're a young team. It's awesome for them to be as good as they are already. But I think the playoffs are always going to be, they're different. They are different. And I'm sorry, I don't believe in a team where your fucking lead guard is like Jalen Suggs or
Markelle Fultz.
Fucking Anthony Black or Cole Anthony. Yeah, or Markelle Fultz. Yeah, like, I'm sorry. I think this is a great year for them, but they're a year away from being like genuine, actual contender, scary team to play.
A lot of their fans are also confident about the whole Jalen Suggs, Jalen Brunson matchup. They think Suggs can handle business.
Yeah, I mean, even if he does, though, like, we just have more firepower than them. We have better shooting. Like, we should not lose that series. And also, like, Hartenstein and Mitch, if like they're both healthy, I just think that is a huge, huge deal in that matchup. This from JL. I think 50 wins would comfortably get us 3 seed. If you told me that before the season, I would have agreed with you. But like, I think this Magic schedule is so ass to close the season. Like, I think they're gonna get it. I think they could get like 51, 52 wins maybe. But yeah, look, hopefully if you get 50 wins, it would just be nice for them to get 50 wins. They haven't had 50 wins since the 2012-2013 season. So it would be nice to, it's like nice every season we're getting, something done. Like, it's like a checklist. We're like, oh, make the playoffs, done. Win a playoff series, done. Win 50 fucking games, done. That'd be good. So yeah.
Next year, win 60. Woo!
Win NBA title. That will be nice. When we get to check that one off, that'll be nice.
Yeah. I think this should we end here? Do we think this is a good place to end?
Nets are getting 2 seconds for McCall. They will like it.
Shout out to that comment, because that comment is response to building blocks. I think this is nice. Abby right
nice.
there.
That is nice. It's a good one.
He says Brooklyn will get the next 2 first-round picks on draft night with 2 additional unprotected picks in the future for McCall. Oh wow! Are we? How much weed are we smoking on this fine Saturday?
I mean, hopefully a lot. But I just like I don't think the Knicks, their need for McCall Bridges, I feel like, is not there now. Like, Dante is really good.
We have guys that do what we need, what we want, what we would have wanted McCall to do for less money.
The Knicks are basically at a point where it's like the thing they want and need and whatever is a star level player, which is not McCall Bridges. So like, again, think of like, at least this is not my opinion. This is what the common perception of these players would be. But like at the top end this summer, you're probably looking at somebody like Joel Embiid. A more reasonable lower level star maybe is somebody like Donovan Mitchell. But we'll see what the Knicks do. I mean, look, Donovan Mitchell must have watched that game today and been like, man, I need to force my way to the Nets. I can fix them. No, I mean, look, you watch Dante and how he's played for us, and like, I had the concerns about the small backcourt, but you watch what Dante's doing with us, and I know Dante's a little bit taller than Mitchell, but Mitchell's way stronger than him. But you can just imagine how dynamic they would be offensively. And defensively, it's just the Knicks have figured out how to be good on defense, right? Even with these smaller lineups. I kind of just figured, and Mitchell, to his credit, he's been better defensively in Cleveland than he was in Utah, like way better. So I don't know. I think that may be back on the menu this summer.
Ace Bouchard says Donovan Mitchell in the first for Cam Thomas. Who says no?
Dude, the Cam Thomas hype is so funny. Just because there's actually enough Nets fans that are like, can we stop? Can we like not? Can we stop pretending Cam Thomas is actually really good at basketball?
Bro, the funniest thing was the outrage from certain Nets fans that like him and McCall didn't get voted into the All-Star game as reserves or something. Like, that was legitimately hilarious.
That was really funny. This is an interesting question. This was from Hawkeye. He basically is asking, Donovan been the better defender this year compared to Dante or no? So by EPM, to your point, Hawkeye, Donovan Mitchell actually ranks in the 85th percentile in defensive EPM this year. Dante DiVincenzo ranks in the 56th percentile in defensive EPM. I don't love defensive EPM. I think it's a better defensive metric than a lot. I don't think it's foolproof, and I think it probably misses context in a lot of places. But that's a pretty reasonable argument to make that Mitchell has been better than Dante defensively. And I don't know, man. Like, if OG's here and he's good to go, hopefully at some point in the next 7 years.
No, but his elbow hurts.
But like, that's, to me, that's like the benefit of having him, right? Is you can maybe sacrifice a little bit. And again, some of the numbers, at least this year, bear out that Mitchell's been a better defender than Dante. So I don't know. To me, like, I just think that's very, very interesting to revisit this summer. He should cost less too, because he's obviously going to be an expiring contract as well. So interesting to think about. I think that's a good place to end it, though.
Yeah, shout out to everyone that pulled up. He had a bunch of funny ass comments that started rolling in as we're fucking wrapping this thing up.
Sam is so done. He's done. He's done. Kenny Beer says Sam is so done with the OG nonsense. I don't blame him. The whole thing's been pretty frustrating. It has. I still think like there's no way they're not bringing him back. It's just
that was my whole thing with bringing him here, because like I was like, all right, bet. Like, he is obviously, like, we've seen his impact defensively. Like, that cannot be questioned. We've seen what he's done for our offense too. I mean, just providing like the spacing that he does compared to what RJ was bringing us. But like, my whole thing with this trade was like, is the risk going to be worth it? Is he gonna play enough for the impact to matter? Because like, he plays, but like, is he gonna play enough for it to matter? Because like, that was his whole thing in Toronto all those years. Never played enough. And it's like, what the hell's the point? I dare this guy to ask for an absorbent amount of money this offseason. I dare him.
Yeah. Oh no, actually, I think did the Nets just straight up owe their pick this year? Let me see.
That makes it even funnier if it is the case.
Hold on. We can definitely close to this. Have a good laugh. All right. Brooklyn. Let's see. They straight up just owe their pick this year to the Rockets. The swap is next year.
Wow. Oh my gosh. Now that is hilarious. Wow. So like, the Rockets, they literally, like, they could have tanked this year and got double the picks, but like, they get to go to the play-in and then get their guys some useful reps, see what they have in their young guys. Jalen Green seems to be enjoying this new fatherhood life, so there's that.
Yeah.
But wow. I mean, this is not really the draft to really get that excited about, but like, this is a good draft if you're trying to get like role players, I've heard. So it doesn't hurt to get some role players. I mean, the Rockets seem to be building at least something there with like Green and Amen Thompson and Cam Whitmore. So, and Eason when he's healthy.
Has Whitmore been playing? Is he still
him and Eason
playing?
are both out. That's why
Eason's kind of just had like a lost year. He hasn't played much at all.
Yeah, he got hurt. I think he's done for the year.
Yeah.
Whitmore, he got hurt. That's why Amen's been getting a lot of minutes in the rotation lately. So,
yeah. All right.
Shout out to everyone that tuned in. Make sure you guys leave a like and subscribe. We'll be back. When's the next game? Monday versus the.
They play somebody shitty. Oh, the Pistons are good friends.
Pistons. Oh, yeah. Okay. That should be a fun game if it doesn't end up.
Look, they
last time.
Yeah, they have the Pistons. Then they're at the Raptors, and then they're at the Spurs. So this is like, if they can get these 3 in a row here, they're looking. They'll be in a they'll have 45 wins. and they'll be one win away from benefiting me financially at that point, which will be nice.
Nice. That's always good when the Knicks can cash a parlay. Then the Knicks players did tonight. It was the Nets players that failed my parlays today, of course. Dennis Schroeder couldn't get 8 assists, sadly.
Don't worry. There's another 7 parlays Sam has going today. So
of course. Got March Madness, and there's a shitty NBA slate to benefit off of. So tune into my timeline today, folks. Make sure you guys follow me. Make sure you guys are also following the Strickland. If you're not watching it on Twitter, if you're watching on YouTube, head over there. Follow us. The link's in the description. If you're on Twitter, go to YouTube. Subscribe. Leave a like. We'll be back on Monday after the Pistons game. Make sure you guys check out all the links. We got links to the site. Merch, Patreon. Make sure you guys sign up for the Patreon. Get access to the Discord. We got some exciting things going on in the Discord.
Emoji tournament.
Our emoji March Madness, where there is a lot of madness going on. So get in on that. And yeah, we'll catch you guys on Monday. Make sure you guys tune in. Everyone enjoy your weekend watching this March Madness. And yeah, peace out.